Hello, everybody. Welcome to our fourth episode of the BallerNerd.com podcast. I'm your host and your community manager, Daniel. And with me today, I have Ian.
How's it going?
Cody.
Hello.
Nathan.
Sup?
Peter. I guess we have Peter. And we have Zach.
Hello.
Maybe he'll come back eventually. First topic today I want to cover is, as usual, I want to plug our website. Our website's going to be live in 16 days. And we're going to have all kinds of information. The very first stage is going to be a boom of information. We're going to have a little bit of information about us personally, lots of immediate things for that time period, lots of cool announcements that we're going to make that we're not going to do yet. So we're going to have some really cool things in store lined up. So make sure you check that out. It's a secret. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at BallerNerd.com, Facebook BallerNerd.com, and subscribe to us on YouTube at BallerNerd.com as well. Our contest, make sure you're doing that. If you want your free Diablo 3, it's very easy. You subscribe to our YouTube and you subscribe to our Twitch, twitch.tv. That's all you got to do. It's very simple. So we got a lot of interesting stuff coming up, so just check into that. But anyway, let's just Peter. Let's move on to the games. First off, this past weekend was IPL 4, and the League of Legends part of it was a very interesting tournament. Of the top three teams, Team Solo Mid took the first place, CLG took the second, and I think it was Dignitas took the third. It was very. I watched them, and it was personally just really interesting. Zach, you watched it. What did you think about the tournament and the bans and all the picks and stuff?
There's a couple things that really surprised me about IPL. The first thing was when I tuned into IPL, I was really expecting to see a lot of Nautilus jungle. You had Odd One and Saint Vicious really talking a lot about Nautilus and saying he was very good, and you never saw him. And the reason for that was the picks and bans. Like whenever there was a fast jungler like Udyr or Shyvana, Nautilus wouldn't fit in because if he gets counter jungled, he gets shut down hard. That being said, the only upset I had was when Dignitas was playing, man, that team that had only been around for 2 weeks and just started. Crap, what was the name of that team?
I'm trying to remember. Was it the Mono? Was it the
MM, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that's what it was. A bunch of 15, 16, 17-year-old kids.
Yeah, they're all in high school, and man, they played amazing. I love that series. I really thought MM should have won, especially Game 3. They did so good early game. Yep. I thought it was over, but then Dignitas came back and won with an amazing just experience late game.
I thought was interesting is Shyvana in that tournament, how many times she was used. Up until the last sets where it was the finals, the grand finals, Shyvana was 10-0 in any game she was played. But yeah, like you said, because it was either Shyvana, Mundo, or Udyr, somebody who can clear the jungle just stupidly fast. So you can't really have like a Nautilus or somebody who clears it kind of slow because they're just going to because that's all they were doing is just taking each other's jungle,
Yeah, Udyr and Shyvana and Janna had very high win rates that game, so I think that shows the real key to the meta right now.
I agree. Also going on with League of Legends, they have the two new champions, which are going to come out eventually. They were going to do the patch last week, and they delayed it. There's going to be the Hikarim guy, who's a speed-based kind of jungler runner. He's pretty cool. He's got some move speed things, like he scales with move speed, whereas AD, which is interesting. And then, of course, there's the new AD that's coming out, which I think Zach is probably at least interested in, whose name is Varus. Have you checked him out yet, Zach?
Yeah, I've checked out both. Both have YouTube videos kind of highlighting their skills. The new guy just seems like your typical top bruiser / jungler. The ranged AD coming out, Varus, how do you say his name, is the one that's going to be interesting. Based on first impressions, a lot of the pros are saying that he's going to be a top laner, which really disappoints me. I'll be sad if he is, because I still think he's going to be a really strong ranged AD. The reason why they think he's going to be top is because this is going to be the first AD that has CC on him, for especially his ultimate that has a snare. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the meta when this guy comes out, and maybe it'll be changed completely. But there's been a huge delay on the patches so far. The Heracum patch still isn't even in sight.
Yep.
And I think they're going to do something.
I'm alright with this delays. Too many people playing Teemo. It's just going to get worse.
Yeah, they are a buffing team for this next patch.
Yeah.
Teemo carries teams, okay?
Yeah,
Team-
right.
Yeah, he does.
Whatever. He'll never be a viable AD ever.
Do you know why they're doing this? Because they have more Teemo skins in the bank, and they need to put them out. Nobody's gonna buy them right now. You know, you could make him look like dollar bills, and nobody would buy him. But
They'll nerf him after people buy the skin.
You wouldn't be saying that if you played rank at 1200. Everybody plays Teemo and then feed,
Right.
and feed Mo.
Yeah.
feed Mo. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Let's move on to the World of Warcraft beta next. I know Cody got into it recently, so me and him were on there a little bit. But I'm gonna talk about some more interesting things first. They've released some information on the gold sync mounts this time. I'm not sure if anybody, you guys, if you don't know anything about it, there's 4 different mounts. There's like a red one, a green one, and they're dual crafting panthers. So they're literally, I guess it's a dual crafting mount. Red, blue, yellow, and I think green. And apparently, if you put them all together, they become some mount that I think it can fly, like an Onyx Panther or something. So it's like
Captain Planet mount.
It's like a Captain Planet mount, Voltron, Captain Planet, whatever you want to call it. But I think the vendor materials to buy them are just super expensive. You know, gold inflation keeps going up every expansion. I think upwards of maybe 25,000 each, 25,000. So that's, you know, you're looking at 100,000 right there just for the mount. If that's just cost, you know, and then right when it first comes out. I don't know. I think it's. I don't know how much the gold's going to be. I know when me and Cody were on the beta, that you killed the guys outside of the starting zone and you got 2 gold, but that might just be a placeholder because it is a beta, of course. What do you think? What do you think about that mount, Cody? All the money it's going to cost?
It's gonna be pretty expensive. I mean, freaking. Most people who are jewel crafting, like all hardcore every expansion, have a lot of gold. So
Good point. Yeah,
they've got to have a way to get that gold
Yes.
off of those people.
Yeah, this is the Jewel Crafter and Cody talking, guys. Just ignore him, leave him be. He was an inscriptionist until they changed the way it worked, and now he's
Making bank.
Serenite shuffling his way into Mr. Pandaria.
I didn't know WoW had an inflation problem. I mean, maybe Blizzard
big
should
time.
consider releasing like a new expansion set called World of Warcraft Depression. So they can get it back
Right.
in line.
Hey,
I think
let me
Mr.
make a
Pandera's
call
gonna
real quick.
hurt.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Also, the way the talents I've talked about the way the talent system's changed, and I got on there the other day. I checked out a warrior and a paladin. Those are the classes that I was very popular playing with, or very popular with me to play. I think Cody made a warlock. And what did you think about just in general the changes and just the way that the talents can change your gameplay, Cody?
The way the talents work is way better. It's a lot simpler, and they're all the talents are like really cool talents, so you actually want to pick them. They're not. It's like 2% haste increase, boring ones.
Yep. The only
The new spellbook though, it really sucks.
That's exactly what I was about to say. The only complaint. Well, the reason why is because you copied a character over level 85, and the way the spellbook works now is it's not. You don't have 3 schools of spells for like warlocks. It's not destruction, demonology, affliction. It is, but like if you were to make your rotation, say if you were to play. Affliction, and I think Shadow Bolt used to be in destruction, so you have to go to the destruction page, pull that out. But even if you were playing, destruction, you pull out curses and debuff and dots from the affliction book. Now, if you pick affliction, your destruction book and your demonology book is grayed out. Anything that you can use is in that affliction book, and you're not don't get me wrong, you're not losing spells. It's just the way they're doing it is weird, and they're taking a lot of the old talents that were just kind of necessary to the playstyle, and they're just kind of merging them together. So if you really don't know what's going on, like Cody, he knows how to play a warlock, but he's not like a warlock player. So, and I'm not.
So he's not like me.
Yeah, I guess. But but yes.
So badass.
So but when you open it up, you're like you have to figure out everything because you're like, what the? Like, what does it do? Does it do that? Like,
every spell is in one tab. Like, so if you're affliction, every spell you have is in the affliction tab. All the passives you have, every spell. And
we didn't know what was going on, so it took Cody, I don't know, almost 10 minutes to find out what happened to Shadow Bolt because Shadow Bolt's gone. Yeah,
Shadow Bolt turns into, if you're affliction, Malefic Grasp or whatever. I couldn't find it.
It's like a channel. He's like, I can't find Shadow Bolt. I'm like, SHA. I spell it out. I think it's interesting. I think it'll work out better for the the masses when the game comes out, because as you're leveling up, you'll say, okay, I got this now, and your playstyle will kind of develop. So I think that's pretty cool.
I think they should have had a search bar. That'll fix it.
Yeah, the search bar, because they did add a search bar in the bank tab.
And they've had one forever, the Professions tab.
Yeah, well, of course, because every expansion they get, they add 30, 40 craftable things. So eventually it's gonna be a little book you have to turn the pages on. So I think definitely we keep checking out the beta, and they keep coming out with more content. We queued up for a dungeon. I forgot it. I think it was like Temple of the Jade Serpent. We were already at the last boss, so there's some placeholders. I healed on a paladin. He did damage on a warlock. It was okay. It was only the last boss, of course. So, it's the same thing. You do the mechanics. There was a little shadow copy that was you, and you had to fight it. Similar to the boss in one of the old Nerubian dungeons back in Wrath of Lich King.
Oh, okay.
But not the same. Similar but different. And then there was a dot you had to cleanse. And the first time we did it, I didn't have cleanse on my bar. So I was like, oh, man. This dot was nuts. It was just like a corruption tick. It was just bigger and bigger and bigger every time. It was like the Lich King plague thing, but you had to cleanse it. Where's my cleanse? Back to the spellbook being all stupid. The spellbook was like 6 pages. I'm like, where's cleanse?
Try to spellbook cleanse.
Exactly. But we'll definitely keep checking.
Everybody died.
And I think the updates for that are going to be pretty cool. So we'll hit some more on that next week. Ian, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about the Diablo 3, so go ahead and take it away.
Yes, and by a little bit, probably a lot. There's a lot of things. First and foremost, the most interesting thing to me, I watched an interview with one of the devs a little bit while back. I think you can find it on YouTube. I'm not sure what it's titled, but it basically said that the devs basically said that you're locked into, I guess, like an auction house in whatever region, but you can set your auction house to be like an EU currency or one of these other things. So you can play the currencies market. So you can play the exchange rate market, I guess the world market, with the money you can make from Diablo's auction house, which actually, if done correctly, could make you more money than if you were within your own region. That does definitely mean that we're going to have some Chinese players and Japanese players or whatever, in the U.S. selling gold.
Gotta buy your herbs
because the exchange rate. Yeah, so the exchange rate. They won't be able to control the market as much, based on, I guess, kind of the volume of players. That was definitely kind of an understood thing at this meeting. But right now, the euro dollar is really good on the dollar. So if I wanted to lock myself into or just have another account rather, and just give all my gold to the other account and then do it like that, I could just play that market and make more money. Obviously, you do have to pay there's an exchange rate fee when you convert it back to dollars, and there's I think it's a 30 cents fee to get things deposited from your Battle.net account to your PayPal account, and then obviously PayPal will charge you to deposit.
Is that what the fee
money
was?
From your pay.
Was
it?
I
think it's about 30 cents per transaction.
Man,
yeah,
that's a lot of money for Blizzard.
So basically, do it all at once.
That's why you want to probably sell a little bit more expensive items. Also, they did say they were going to allow certain number of free transactions per, I guess for a certain period. I think it's per month you get 10 free transactions. So they want to encourage people to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then after that they'll charge you a listing fee. So it's for these high volume users. I know Cody and I are just going to make, bank. I've already made not 900 beta bucks in the beta, so it's pretty easy to do. You can kind of use some arbitrage. I know there's tons of videos out there that show little simple strategies to make money on the Diablo auction house. I'm sure I'll put up some videos and some other ones in the future, but I'm really excited for that because my free time. I guarantee you they're going to come out with an iPhone app just like they came out with an auction house phone app for World of Warcraft. I do not see that. Yeah, well, it's still beta, but
you're making money while you're making money.
making money while I'm making money. Well, I mean, that's what I plan on doing. So if I made $900 or 900 beta bucks,
that's $9.
Farting. No, I think it's $1 per beta buck. The one question is that because the market price for things is going to basically set itself, and it definitely, there's going to be kind of like some fluctuation. Like weekends, you're going to see an uptick in prices, like World of Warcraft.
Exactly.
Friday's the day to sell, things like that. So you want to kind of like save all your gold up until Friday, or if you want to like sell gold or whatever, or sell items. It definitely seems like that's what you should do. But it definitely seems like there's going to be some people that are going to make some money off of this. I mean, just quite a bit of money.
Is there a way to sell gold? Like, can you actually literally sell gold, or you sell it in the form of items?
Yeah, you can sell your gold as for real currency, for US dollars.
So basically, you're selling it to Blizzard and taking out the economy, basically, right?
No, actually.
I mean,
you sell
when you convert it to like when you get gold from somebody for selling something, and then you turn it into real dollars. I'm thinking you're basically turning your gold into money that Blizzard takes. Which is what I'm getting.
See, so actually, Blizzard's doing it in such a way. This is really smart. They're basically trying to stay like as far removed from the economy as possible, because they just basically don't want to say like. They said unless like there's some really weird instance, they're not going to like intervene. But all Blizzard is going to do is charge you for that set transactions cost. No matter how much, let's say you sell something for like $100, they're still only going to make 30 cents off of that trade. So it doesn't matter if it's like 1,000, 100, or 150. They're only going to make 30 cents. And that's the only thing it's going to cost you for that transaction. That's actually really good. I've sold a bunch of stuff on eBay, and you get screwed by eBay. This is pretty good. I mean, like, I'm playing a video game and I'm making money, so that's something I'm really looking forward to. Let's see, what else? There's been a number of people that have kind of like gone through some of the files in the, I guess, kind of like Diablo III beta, and it seems like a number of the armor sets have been posted, so you can see images of those, kind of like
when you go to
the MMO champion for Diablo III. I guess like Diablo fans, things like that, those have it. There's also a Diablo III mini site which launched. This is one of Blizzard's things, and you can unlock. I believe you can get unlockables for your game, like some little codes, so you get like banner things. But also there's like a great deal of content if you like the lore and stuff. There's a bunch of stuff about Tyrael and things like that. And it was pretty enjoyable to read. I do also know that there have been 275,000 Diablo 3 beta invites have just gone out. I think it was, let's see, the 12th, so that's 2 days ago. So check your email, because my roommate just got in. He was super excited, although he's playing it on a Mac. So
what, Kevin or
it's Steven. So it's taken him a while. Also, it looks like Blizzard's adding a new sort of mobile alert system. Kind of like it's kind of like the, I don't know if you guys have what are those little called, the authenticators on your phones or anything like that. But they're adding like a new thing like that. It sends you a text message for login activity that's like suspicious. It knows like it sends you a text message if your password's been changed, and it alerts you if new security features are added or moved, or like something in your account is adjusted. And so you can set things and control more from your phone, and that way to make sure like people are not getting in there and kind of like taking your money basically. I mean, as soon as I put an authenticator on my phone, like I have never been hacked since then. So
me neither.
It's been pretty good. Also, they're also adding an update. This was today, really early in the morning. They said that there's an update where everyone can change their kind of like battle tag nickname.
That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
It's a long time ago. They added it, but now they're letting you change it for free. There's some update that's allowing them to do that. So if you want to change your battle tag in the next couple of weeks, you better jump on it right now, because your battle tag is like your public identity when you're chatting, grouping, or interacting with other players in Diablo 3. So
I think it's going to be like that new
you're
Blizzard game. Instead of the real ID, it's going to be a
I
less
don't think
personal
you're gonna
version.
have to. You don't have to change it right now. It's like the StarCraft free name change. You can
Yep.
change it whenever.
I already have it. I already changed mine to like cow, so it's more personal.
Well,
Yeah, I'm probably gonna
it
change
is,
mine.
but it's not the same. It's not your your first name and your last name like the real ID when when you're adding somebody who you did a dungeon with and you thought they were cool and they want to creep on you.
Yeah, see, I was okay with that because I just,
You're a creep.
it was like I got to know you guys and things like that, and so.
Well, it's okay with people who are
Plus-
creepy.
Well, that's true. You just don't add them. But then again, like it's probably smarter they didn't. We'll leave this for another podcast.
Yes.
As far as guides, I know in the next, probably next week, by the end of next week, we're gonna have a guide for Diablo 3 to show you like how to configure your system for the best settings to get so your game will run super smooth and look really good as well. Also, I'm gonna do a guide because the Diablo 3 beta is essentially a small portion of the game. People have already cleared that content. They're going to want to clear that content as fast as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically like run through the classes a couple times by myself, and then I'll figure out which classes are going to be the best, or what classes seem to be the best farmers, and we'll try to do show you guys what is the best strategy for getting through this early content quick, getting to some of this later content, and maybe making a little bit of money as soon as the game launches. So that should be pretty fun, and we'll try to do that this week. We'll have it maybe by Friday or Saturday.
Cool.
But also speaking of Diablo in general, we do have a Diablo, I believe it's Diablo 1 playthrough this Sunday on our Twitch TV account at 7 p.m. on April the 15th. But that's all I've got for Diablo 3.
Okay. Back to what he said. What we're doing this Sunday is a Diablo 1 playthrough. With 3 or 4 of us, we're gonna get together. We're gonna stream this live, and we're just like you said, we're just gonna make some characters. We're gonna run through the game. Once we get through Diablo 1, we're gonna start over with Diablo 2. We were gonna do it last week, but Easter fell on last Sunday, so we moved it. And then we're just building up to Diablo 3. So check it out Sunday, 7 p.m. Central. It's 5 p.m. Pacific. Moving on. Peter, what's new with StarCraft 2? Tell us the download.
Well, quickly, just touching on IPL. Alive and Squirtle were in the finals. Squirtle got knocked out by Alive in the winner's bracket. For those of you who don't know how most tournaments go, you have the main bracket, and it's your usual kind of elimination bracket. And then if you lose, you go down to the loser's bracket. And say you got through 3 games in the winner's bracket, you got to start 3 games into the loser's bracket, and basically the winner of the winner's bracket and the winner of the loser's bracket then play in the finals. And usually the winner has some kind of advantage, like he only has to win 3 games as opposed to 5 or something like that. Anyway, so Squirtle worked his way back up through, or he didn't actually really have to work his way back up because he got to the end of the winner's bracket, then got knocked out by Alive. Came back and played a rematch with him. He won the first best of 5, but then he lost the second one, which is rather disappointing, as Squirtle is someone who, at least I've taken a lot of notice in Team GSTL games. Alive, maybe it's just because of his name. It doesn't stand out as much as Squirtle does. But moving on to what I actually posted yesterday, a long kind of rant or just comments about what Blizzard's going to be changing in Heart of the Swarm. They released a 3-4 paragraph little article about how they're tweaking everything. They're taking out the shredder for Terran, which I am happy about in terms of it just seemed like it'd be too hard to balance, especially because they said that it was having trouble taking out workers. People just plant the shredder in the back of the base, and if you don't notice, within 5 seconds, all your workers are just gone. And but I really like the idea for the shredder. I thought it was a really good idea, and I wish it'd been able to work even as a Zerg player. I really like that idea. one really big thing I'm excited about for Zerg is the Nidus Worm. They're trying to tweak it a lot, trying to give it more playability. So they're trying to think of different types of worms you can then use or sprout out of the ground that from the main building, such as a worm that just spreads creep all everywhere, which would be great because Zergs always have this mentality. Maybe it's because we're lazy, but once the queen that's spreading creep gets killed off, or the main tumors that are active get killed, Zergs just kind of say, well, screw it. I'm done with spreading creep. It takes too much time to build another queen, get her out there. Another way to spreading creep is always welcome. Overlords, I feel, never do that great of a job because unless you have speed for the Overlords, and even then, Blink Stalkers can really take them out when they try and retreat. It's not the best mechanic for the Overlord. It's definitely not bad, and it's welcome as it can help in certain situations here or there, and it's not going to hurt whatsoever. But this Nidus Worm thing has really got me excited.
Cool.
I'm trying to think if there's any other specific things the one other thing I would like to touch on briefly before, if anyone else would want to say anything, is not the Oracle, the Tempest, the thing that's taking over the carrier. Blizzard admitted that Protoss doesn't have to deal with air Mutalisks as badly now that they give the Phoenix the range upgrade, and now the Tempest is even more just kind of bland and lacking and doing nothing.
Overkill.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it has a long range, it has some splash, and they say, well, right now it lets the Protoss engage armies on their terms in mid-game to late-game scenarios. And in terms of ground army, all you have to do is get some Colossus. I mean, those things have an upgrade from 7 to 9. So you have a range of 9 there. I don't know what the Tempest range is, but I feel like that's always good enough, at least for me, to kind of have to back my army up more and more and more, is the Colossus. And, I mean, other than maybe Vikings, Corruptors don't have very much range, so if any air unit is coming to attack the Colossus...
Peter, you there?
There?
Did we lose Peter?
Oh, I think it dropped him again.
Okay.
This guy's in trouble.
Well, anyway, keep checking back. We do have a new. Peter does have a Heart of the Swarm update video on our YouTube page, so go check that out. One thing I did want to mention about the Fast 4 games we just covered, we are going to be, and Ian touched on it a little bit. We're going to be doing guides for these. For all these games, Zach's going to be doing some League of Legends guides. Probably somebody else is going to help him out with them. And these guides we're going to start. These are going to be our introductory guides. They're going to be very if this is your first time playing a game, this is what it's going to be like. It's not going to be the more advanced abilities, tactics, and strategies for whatever game it is. It's going to be a much more basic. Like Zach's probably going to start covering the different roles right now in the current meta for League of Legends, and maybe some champions here and there, and just the way the general map works. Very basic stuff. For a while, myself and Cody are going to be covering each different class at low levels, probably up to maybe 10. A little bit of information about the races. Ian's going to be covering, like he said, some of the classes and some of the fastest ways to do things productive. And Peter's going to be covering Peter and Nathan as well, possibly will be doing some StarCraft 2 guides. And with all these, not only are we going to be showing you introductory things about the game, we're going to be showing you video settings and how to configure it so it works best for your certain system. Because as we all know, some people's computers are high end where they can do pretty much whatever they want, and some people's aren't. So just keep track of that. We're like Ian said, he's gonna have his by probably next Friday. I expect at least probably 1 or 2 guides from each of those games by next Friday, and they'll be very interesting. So check those out. Moving on to our last section of the games, where we just kind of do our miscellaneous ones. Nathan played a game last night. He downloaded and started playing Tribes, which is a high res game, which is also people made Global Agenda. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, if you guys ever played Tribes back in the old days, it's basically take Unreal Tournament and add jetpacks and going 175 miles an hour throughout the entire map. So it gets really, really fast paced. And I played one game yesterday, and I'm used to like the old school shooters like Halo, Perfect Dark, James Bond, and GoldenEye, where everything was only like at a walking pace. And last night I played a few games of Tribes, and I got annihilated basically. Everybody was going around at like 107 miles an hour. I'm going at 20. I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. I just got steamrolled basically. But it's a really fun game, even though it's free to play. Because the way it's free to play is that it's all the stuff that you can buy in the cash shop are just experience bonuses. So you get like twice the amount of experience as someone else, and there's no really like you just buy this gun outright. Everybody still has to work towards the same thing. Good. Yeah, so some people just get to it faster.
So, I'd imagine they do something like that because that's kind of how Global Agenda was. It was at one point, I think, Cody, wasn't it $20? Is that how much we paid for it?
Yeah. And
then eventually, me and him played it, and a couple other people played it for a while, and then eventually they did go to a free to play model.
Yep. So it's just there's no pay to win. It's just pay to win in the far future.
Somebody call All Points Bulletin and tell them to fix that shit. Because you can buy a gun that never expires with all these mods on it. Because in that All Points Bulletin game, the guns do eventually expire. I think it's 10 days when you buy them from the in-game currency, which is actual cash.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, you lose your guns that you buy.
Some cars you buy, you lose them after a while.
Yeah, you get them for 10 days.
Yep.
Okay, that's retarded. Yeah, I'm glad Tribes doesn't do this.
Yeah, but I agree.
But there's also like a really high skill ceiling for Tribes as well. So that's one thing I like about it. There's always something to be doing better for Tribes because all the weapons are trajectory based. So there's very few hit scan weapons. So basically, everything's like a grenade launcher. So it's fun. Even though I got destroyed, I like it.
You get your first night, you'll get better at it.
I'm Asian.
Your
skill should be at the top of his game the first time.
All right.
I'm no Terminator. I'm sorry.
Last game we're going to cover today is on Tuesdays. I'm always doing my Amnesia: The Dark Descent stream. I did it this past Tuesday. It was lots of fun. Well, it's fun for people watching at least.
He cried a lot.
Yes. So no, actually I did. Actually, did I?
You guys always got to bring an extra pair of pants whenever you're watching.
That's right. Actually, when I'm doing it, I just don't wear any pants.
That's even better.
That.
I just have this pan on the floor, and I do have my camera on so you can see my reaction. And it is kind of dark. I'm gonna get out a light. I had a light in here, and the bulb burnt out, and it's some weird kind of bulb that I'm not gonna buy because it's expensive. But we do have. It's good. I'm doing it every Tuesday until I finish the game. I don't know how much. I don't know how much more is left of the game. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna do anything because I want to know exactly what happens. This past Tuesday, just a couple highlights. There's a like the nightmare that's following you around. I guess it manifests itself in this zombie-looking patchwork kind of guy who just, if he sees you, the creepy music starts, like horrifying music, and he chases you, and he's as fast as you are. And I actually got killed by him once. He found me, and I was like, I'm in this little kitchen, and I open, and it's a dead end. I open the door, and he just pops up right down the hallway, and he sees me because I have all the lights on. Because you can go around and turn on lights, or you can light up torches, which helps you keep your sanity. So I light up torches. He sees me, and then the crazy music plays. I slam the door. I'm like, okay, I'll go hide. Maybe he'll walk away. No, kitchen's fully lit up. It's lit up like 4th of July. He runs in there, and I'm hiding behind these meat carcasses. It looks like a cow.
Worst place ever.
I'm just trying to hide. I'm actually behind a wall, but there's hanging cows. And he runs in and starts swinging at the cows. I'm like, oh, maybe he thinks I'm a cow. So then I run around and try to outrun him. I close the door. I turn around. He's breaking down the door. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna chase me forever. And he ended up chasing me for, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. It seemed like forever, but I think it was probably 2 or 3 minutes. He ended up killing me, and then I respawned, and then he popped up right in front of me. as I spawned, but I guess he wasn't supposed to be there, so he just kind of just disappeared. And then as I walked out of the room that I spawned in, he popped up behind me, so I had to run around him again. Basically, I think the way I escaped him is I had to lure him into a room in a dark area, but I don't close the door. I run into the room, he follows me, I run out, I slam the door, and I book it, and I go hide in a corner, and then eventually he goes away. But the game is super creepy. The story's kind of developing. It's the reason why it's called Amnesia is because for one reason or another, which I haven't gotten to yet, because I'm sure that's the climax of the story. You literally drink something that makes you forget everything that happened, and you leave yourself notes as you go, like diary entries that you find, telling you what happened. There's some sort of orb and you touch it, it has some sort of nightmare that follows you, and you just try to outrun as long as you can, which I assume is what's all this creepy stuff following me. Like, I started in the actual house, going through from rooms, archives, storage rooms, and Peter, the storage room was pretty creepy that you mentioned. Oh, Peter's not even here. Derp. There was a storage area that was very creepy, and then you have to fix this elevator, then you go down, and then you're in a prison, which is the area that I'm in right now, which is absolutely horrifying. There's no lights in any of this. It's absolutely horrifying. But check that out on, remember, Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Central, that's 6 p.m. Pacific. Check that out. Get active in the chat. Let's see what's going on. Make sure you subscribe to that Twitch page and the YouTube page so you get a shot at Diablo. So you get to watch me horrified, and you get to win a chance at Diablo 3. What more could you want?
More free games.
Yes, more free games. Which
love, affection, attention.
Yes, well, that's why Zach watches the stream. So if you want love, affection, attention, you can talk to him. I think he's on there somewhere. You'll find him. He'll give himself away. And Ian, do you have anything else to mention about coming up with the site or any news?
No, we're that much closer to being done, being ready to go. Of course, again, we're going to announce our free giveaway of Diablo 3 on the website when it launches. Make sure you are, if you've registered for our Twitch and YouTube sites, that Peter's back online, that you check out the website within the first 12 hours, because if you don't respond to our email in 12 hours, then you might lose your chance to get the game. So make sure you check out our website within the first 12 hours launch, and you will be that much closer to having a free copy of Diablo 3.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Okay. That's pretty much it for our fourth podcast. Thank you guys for listening in. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube and Twitch. Make sure you check out the contest video. Get your chance at a free game. As always, I'm your host, Daniel. I would like to thank everybody for coming. I'd like to thank Ian.
Yeah.
Nathan.
Goodbye.
Zach.
Later.
Cody and Peter. I think Peter's back.
I just got back. Yep.
Say bye.
Just in time for us